1 2 1 2. Man, this is dangerous back here behind the podium. Like set a booby trap for me. Okay, guys, you ready? Let's go ahead and get started. We can get everybody in and out on time. Start with the antitrust compliance statement. The Four Rivers Association of Realtors is committed to enhancing the real estate industry in Texas. Our meetings aim to promote the interest of the real estate professionals and consumers, fostering competition and share best practices. Discussions that violate antitrust laws such as price fixing or limiting service offerings are strictly prohibited. Thank you guys for being here. It's a very pivotal time in our association history. So it's really important to get you all here to visit with us and share your vision of what we want to do with this association going forward. First, what we're going to do is I'd really like you guys to re-meet our staff. I'm going to let them come up and all introduce themselves. We have an amazing staff here, y'all. And as you know, it's been a turbulent January, and this staff has done an amazing job of keeping everything rolling. We appreciate them so much. You guys go ahead.
Oh,
Jennifer, you go first.
Oh, Jennifer? No, Stephanie, you go first. Stephanie first. Okay. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I am your in-laws and super support specialist. I have been here for 9 years, last Friday. And I started with the membership department and then learned all the things about in-laws and secret ETs. And so that's on my plate. I also work with the membership department and onboarding new members. So all of the new agents that I need to come through, they probably is their first email for me. And then I talk to for dinner. I also get more compliance department. So when there are warnings and fines, I work with a resolution and helping to hopefully get everybody into classes so they don't have to pay the fines. And I have a bunch of free things right now.
Awesome.
And I'm Kelly Miller. I'm the First Impressions Coordinator. So I sit in the front desk. I manage the front desk area. So when we do call here, I try and get you to the appropriate person to know these people, and they will help you out. I also manage the board store, which is wonderful. So I've heard we have the best board store in the area. So you want to become a FAR member or get your everybody to become a FAR member because we have the best board store. And if you are, you get the 30% off. So that's wonderful. Come visit it when you're done. I know you're going to need stuff. And we also do a bulk order. We had somebody order a bulk order of some writers. So we did that without. So I think they ordered like 20 writers and we were able to give them that discount. So that's really good. And so we have you can get things for your clients when they purchase their home. And so I do check in the students for our in-person classes, which we do have some in-person classes. The title companies do it. We have our programs that put on in-person classes as well. And I was a certified teacher. I did that for a while. I actually was a realtor. That was a long time ago, and that didn't last for a long time. That's when the big recession hit, so I just didn't do it. But I became a teacher. I most recently was a career advisor at Champion School of Real Estate, and I advise the students to get their license in real estate, and appraisal, inspection, and mortgage. So now I'm here.
Awesome.
And welcome.
Thank you.
I help with front. I help with sports, and business
helping out another customer, but she's also a middle friend. I also send out nicely enrolled reminders, so we update with more license expiration dates. I also help out with working with my pen and get coffee with the classes that we have this week. This week they're not meeting, but for the next week they will. And I also do have 15 minutes, as well. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Most of y'all have seen my face. Raylan Tigray. I'm the marketing communication specialist here. I send out all the emails that potentially some of y'all have subscribed to. This is all important information that needs to be heard. So please don't unsubscribe, and I can subscribe to you. But it's just any information that leadership or staff or anybody that we feel like we need to know, whether it's about your services, local, national level, and trying to get that out to you. I started here in 2022. I was in accounting and then moved into the marketing position. So y'all need anything, I can get you to the right person. Or connect you to state level right person. Take care of your questions.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Saunders, I live in Druid, and I imagine all of you have spoken to me at some point. I did start off at the front desk in Kelly's position and another specialist. Trying to keep you all in all of our knowledge and get you negotiating with us as well as each other. And we do try to keep everything moving forward, and communities is a big part of it, so communities are already outside of here, I do leather work, alterations.
Ooh, good to know.
Before myself, I want to acknowledge LaDon. LaDon, I think you're muted. I don't know if we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, you're like a very faint speaker over there. So, LaDon's been with us for how many years?
12.
12 years. Yeah, so 12 years she's been with us. If you guys have ever taken a class or if I've ever taken a class, she's the one that will chomp you and keep you in track and make sure you're in, give you like a credit. So LaDon, we want to appreciate you. Thank you for what you do. And then Liana should be in here in a minute. She's helping we have a delivery of coffee, so whichever consistent. I'm Mike Murphy. I wear multiple hats. I'm the MLS operations officer here at Fort Worth, so I do everything IT. We've got 3 servers in the back that I manage and update, constantly maintain, including the QuickBooks, our voice over IP phones. And then anytime there's like staff turnover, new computers, I gotta, reset up all those and get all the programs installed and get all the infrastructure for that. On the central Texas side of things, on the MLS, I'm the Chief Operations Officer for CTX MLS, and you'll hear about more of this later, but we just launched literally minutes before I came down here, the Realtor.com Plus platform that I'll be talking about shortly. So I've been here 8.5 years, started in the industry in 2002, on the vendor side of things. And prior to that, I had my own business for 15 years, good consumer electronics. So now I don't do it because I have to pay the bills. I do it for fun, but I fix old jukeboxes and slot machines and old things.
Awesome.
So random info.
Thanks, Mike.
I have in-house notary services. I am your notary.
That's good to know. Everybody loves to hear that.
Great to see everybody. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, y'all. And I'd like to thank all of y'all. I've been watching how hard y'all been working to keep this thing running. I appreciate the staff very much. All right, what I want to do, I want to go to Kevin here. Kevin sponsored lunch. I'm just going to give you a heads up on what's coming. Then Mike's going to talk to us about what's going on with the MLS update. And then I'm going to get into a kind of a state of the union address here, tell you guys what's going on. And then we're going to get into some good conversation and talk about how we're going to make this a better association. Kevin Roberts with Tax Lifeline Tax Resolutions. Kevin is an affiliate board member as well. Go ahead, Kevin.
All right, just thank y'all for having me here to be with you all. I do have Jason's data, so go eat your heart out, you know. Many times I get asked the question, I have my own CPA, so why do I need you here? Well, that's an interesting question. Many times I have realtors, brokers, they come up to me, they say the same exact question. And they say, I don't need you. 3 months later, they say the same thing. I don't need you. Then all of a sudden, 3 months later, hey, Kev, my CPA can't do this. Can you help me out? I say, sure. What's going on? I deal with the issue. Okay, I walk them through the whole thing, what all they need to do, and we get everything resolved. That's why it's very vital that I do partner with CPA firms, and I do partner with them. I do partner with you all as well as you all, your clients might have some issues as well. I'm here to provide that that help you all need, as well as if they need to contact the IRS, tax liens, or anything dealing with that side. I'm here. And also, I've just recently was approved to for CE credits for you all as well. So I do have 3 that were approved. So I'm waiting on 1 more. And so it's dealing with the problems that I see in the realtors area, as well as dealing with payroll and a variety of different things that I see in this area. You all will be seeing my face a lot more. So, you know, I thank y'all for being here, and I specialize only with realtors. So if y'all do have any questions, let me know. I'm here. If y'all want to look and see if y'all have penalties that can be abated as well, I'm able to look at that. You can just get one of the flyers that I have in the back, and I can help y'all. If y'all have any questions, just, you know, I'm in the back, I'm here. You always see me. I'm here, and I'm gonna be here. So thank y'all.
Thanks, John. Okay, Mike Murphy, come on up and tell us about MLS updates.
MLS updates, I'll try to keep it short and sweet-ish. First of all, Ray, if you don't mind, if you can go into Matrix for me. We've done a couple of changes here. Shows up. Some have been announced, so you may have already seen. Some have not yet been announced on there. But first and foremost, when we get Matrix up here, there we go. One thing we've done is on the input sheets, you click in input tab. Oops, you lost it.
I'm trying to get those online.
Sure. So one thing that we've done is that you might remember when we did the coming soon originally, the coming soon status was only allowed to be in the status for 14 days, and we've removed that. So now it can stay coming soon forever. So if in those markets or that particular client wants you to just leave it coming soon, you can do that without a problem. It's not going to update. It's not going to update. It's not going to change automatically like it used to go from coming soon to temporary off market to active. It's not changing stats at all. So if you put it in coming soon, it can stay in coming soon and then magically go sold if you want. Okay. So we did that for a lot of people were asking about that. Yeah, Raven, if you just grab a listing, click on your price increase, active under contract, whatever. We'll grab a listing, we'll edit the listing, any of them, click on that, and then click on the pencil for me. You guys don't see the pencil because that's a staff function. You guys have it. So click on the pencil. And then residential input form. The other thing that we've got a lot of requests from is if you click on the broker showing information tab, you go up, right there, and scroll down a little bit for me, Raven. You'll notice, oh, I'm sorry, got to hit cancel on this. We need a change form. So when you change to close, you can now access, change to close. There we go. Now scroll down here. You'll notice that now we have unrepresented. So we've gotten a request for a lot of people recently that clients are coming and they're not represented at all. And we want to track those. So we've allowed the functionality to where if you double click on the unrepresented right here, or you can type it out. So go ahead and double click on that for me. The unrepresented, just the text that says unrepresented in the quotes. Yeah, just double click on it. 2 clicks, it'll let you. different problems. But anyway, if you double click on that, it'll highlight it, you copy and paste it into the form, hit refresh, and it'll show unrepresented buyer on there. So that has not been announced to everybody yet, so you might want to let all your agents know that you can do that if you have a situation where that's the case. Okay, is that helpful?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, we're starting to hear this from across the board. A couple other MLSs have also done something similar, I believe. So that should help out. So coming soon, forever now, if you want, could be coming never, and then unrepresented. So if you hit cancel for that on me, we're not going to modify this agent's listing. And then scroll down and hit cancel on that for me too. And that way I'm not in hot water, you're not in hot water. Every now and again, I'll have to put in a test listing and I'll get like, Mike, what's with this $1 listing in here for like,
Like the spy contract.
all right. We have a video, but before you hit play on the video, if you can pull it up. So, like I kind of teased a minute ago, Damian Eels from Realtor.com. He's the CEO for Realtor.com. He's also CEO for News Corp, which owns Realtor.com. News Corp is the largest media outlet in the world. They own Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and a million other like publications out there. So he came to us and he actually came to a board of governors meeting because now Realtor.com is relocated 2 years ago now, but now they're in Austin and that's where the corporate offices are, but they have facilities all over the country. So he came to our board of governors meeting and he put us on an NDA for this new product that we're rolling out called Realtor.com Plus. And it's kind of like One Home. So everybody's using one, One Home. So everybody's using One Home and Matrix, right, for your clients, and you have that connection. This is One Home on a national level. So you connect your clients on there. It's branded with all your information. And anytime they search, if they decide, hey, I'm going to look at a house in Chicago, if they click on a house and they want to schedule a showing, it's got your branded information here at CTX to come back in. We're the only MLS in Texas to roll this out so far. And we're only the third one in the country to do it. And we've had a beta test team. So out of everybody in CTX, I had about 30 members. They were beta testing it, running it through all its paces. And now they just rolled it out as of literally an hour ago to the rest of us over here. So promote it, go in there, use it if you can. Yes, it's another app. The difference is on the Realtor.com app, which most people use anyway. Well, I can't speak for you, but a lot of clients use Realtor.com anyway. If they're searching between CTX and they want to search and they're looking at Austin, you're not sure which MLS it is. Now you don't have to One Home here, sign out, One Home over there, One Home over there. Now they can use the Realtor.com app and see any of those and it's still branded to you when you put them on. So it's pretty cool. So here's a little update from Damian and stuff about talking about the product and just a real blurb of what it does. Look for the news and alerts, those annoying news and alerts that everybody unsubscribes for that doesn't want to watch, right? Be sure to watch for those because there's going to be one-on-one training for y'all and for your agents on the details of how to work this app and how to get into the Realtor.com Plus app. Right?
Real estate isn't just about property. It's about connections across fences, across generations, across turning points in life. It's a relationship business built on trust. But somewhere along the way, technology started pulling us apart. Tools once built to streamline are starting to subtract professionals from the process, turning agents into afterthoughts. That's where we draw the line. Actually, that's where we're drawing two lines. We're launching Realtor.com Plus to add back everything that matters most to the professionals who make this business work. Trust, collaboration, control. Realtor.com Plus is a mobile-first platform where you own the experience, where clients stay yours, and you stay where you need to be, at the centre of every transaction. Meet your clients where they already are. See what they see in real time. Have your branding throughout the experience. And finally, stop juggling 5 different apps for listings, communication, and organisation. Because sometimes progress isn't about starting over. It's about plussing up what's already there. Connect, collaborate, close. All in one place.
dig his Australian accent. Of course, he has to have his cup of tea in the end, right? Anyway, heck of a nice guy. He's not bashful. He's very, he's very in your face, as far as strategies with business. And so, and especially with News Corp and all the financial backing they have, they're going full force, like up against Zillow and Homes.com, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw that announcement, right? Homes.com just cut $300 million in their budget because, and I just saw that the board of directors, or, they sent in one of the shareholders, a major shareholder, for Homes.com and for, drawing a blank, CoStar, just sent a letter to their board of directors, that's pretty nasty about the CEO, so Andy Florence. So yeah, they're not getting a return on their investments on it's hard to get into the real estate market. So I would not be surprised to see some changes on that front. In the meantime, Damien is a partner with us, right? They've not been allowed to, they're not allowed for their structure to own an MLS. They're partnering with MLS, and they're trying to support all us realtors to help out. So please use the product. Look into that Realtor.com Plus. What they're not doing is they're not doing what some of those other brokerages and stuff are doing on the national level. They're not stealing your clients. They're not reaching out to them when they schedule a showing, outside of your market, and they're not filtering to other agents. You're one-on-one with your client. It's based that way in the product. So I'm interested to see how well it's going to do. Yeah, question.
They're attached, like.
It's still, no, the catch is their survival, right? Because they're literally being priced out of the market with that, and they've had enough. So they're like, okay, this is what we're going to do with our stand. The other catch was that I had to pull favors and even send some threats and make some calls to some strategic people to get this rolled out for us. It took an act of God to get it, because obviously Cotality is not in favor of this because it's in competition with One Home. They want everybody in their One Home product. But I think in the long run, it's going to position us in a better spot for the public and for clients, because then they can go to one single app, you can go to one single app, and they can search across the whole country if they want, and it still has a one-to-one relationship when you add their information into with your clients, and it's branded. So you can do a search, and it's very, very similar to One Home. So you can go in there, you add a client, you put in their name, their email address, whatever, it sends them an invite. They go to their Realtor.com app, they click the invite. Because they click that invite, that knows that it came from you, so it connects that person, that client, to you, and then it shows up in your portal, and then there's messaging and all the similar things you see in One Home, only on a national level. So I'm really excited about it. I'll be excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, so I have a 4 search set up for right now. One with Sabor, one with CTX, one with A4, and one with New Home Buddy, because they want to go all over this area. So it's gonna, instead of, because they had the problem of with CTX and A4 setting up 2 separate One Home accounts to view searches. So is this gonna just prevent me from having to have, am I still gonna have to have Sabor search set up? And that's because that's different than One Home with CTX and ABOR, right?
I can't tell you what to do, but Realtor.com has all of those listings.
So search.
Exactly. Katie.
Okay, so tell us how it works with showing time for making appointments versus making appointments.
So it's so brand new. Even I'm still learning some of that. I don't have all those answers on there. Realtor.com Plus, it's got its own showing platform within the Realtor.com Plus app. I haven't actually gone through that part of it yet. As admin, I don't have the same access, but like Brian Johnson did a lot of beta testing. A lot of others across the MLS did beta testing and stuff. But we've been hearing for years, right? Like people aren't a real fan of showing time because of, it's nice because they have the call center, but also on the flip side of things, hey, Zillow's got all of our, client stuff, right? My showing reports that used to come from Showing Time Direct now it comes from Zillow.
Off the Zillow comment. So if our clients are set up in Realtor.com Plus and they set a showing through that, is it going to go to one of Realtor.com's paid
client or paid realtors that pays for ads in that lead, or is the showing request going to come to us?
It goes to you. If you have that client, that one-on-one relationship similar to One Home, yeah, if they schedule a showing or they say, hey, I want to see this home, and you schedule it for them, you have that relationship. So it comes to you. That's what's nice about it.
Schedule the showing.
Yeah, if you want. From what I saw, I think the client has a button. If they see a house they want and they want to schedule a showing, they schedule a showing. You get a notification they want to see that showing, and then you guys have to collaborate on when it's going to happen or whatever. But yeah, it works both ways on that. But I haven't actually gone through it and gone through those steps yet. That's what we're just rolling out. This is brand new. I mean, literally it just went from like the alpha phase to this is like the first version of it coming out. But they've been super responsive with like any changes and improvements and stuff that we want to have added to the system. They have their development teams are like on it quick. You know, it's to their advantage to make sure this is a success for them, because again, they're competing with homes.com, they're competing with Zillows, and they've been losing market traction. And this is their like, you know, shaking the tree to get back in there. So anyway, I think it's a great idea. Rhonda.
I listened to the introduction on the way over here from Lombard.
They said the client picked 3 houses they wanted to see, goes to the realtor schedules the showings, and then sends it to the client, and you can add it to your calendar and block that time out. It sounded super great.
It's pretty neat. It's really neat. So, and the other thing too is that they have a huge vested interest into the success of this thing. So they're listening, right? Unlike some other vendors and stuff where we're just like more noise on like their, you know, stream of workflow. So it's really neat to have that. Amber.
What are the biggest currents of data? I mean, are they then reselling our clients' data all over the place like everybody else does? Or does it get locked down? Do we then own the data? I mean, like, how else is our data being used with this?
They're not syndicating data out. They're still using by law, they still only get our IDX data. So they're still not even getting sold data and all that stuff, even with this product on there. They're not reselling the data. They're not monetizing it as far as I'm aware on there. I'll go back and look at the details.
Our clients' data, email addresses, everything else to ancillary services.
No, well, like I say, I mean, realtor.com, right? There's just been a public portal so far. And so unlike a lot of these other, you know, and I can go on and on, like with the Redfins and a bunch of these other ones that are selling a lot of the data and our clients' information, they're not. They're trying to keep the clients and keep the agents at the heart, right, in the center of the transaction all the way through the transaction. So it's their move to position themselves to help us and support us, you know. And I guess Damien came to us originally over a year ago. And he's like, it's in our name, right? We're realtor.com. He's like, there's no one else better to help support clients and support the agents than us.
Right, but they've also been doing the same thing as everybody else has been doing to us and forcing us to pay for the data we provide. So
yeah, some of them do.
They're just going to be very like all of a sudden now they're coming to help us. Like before they're not really any different than the other platforms.
Not from what I've heard on there. So, I mean, I disagree a little bit with that, where they're not reselling data and they're not giving out or they're not monetizing on the data that you're putting in there or your clients are putting in there. And they're not going off and making money direct on that. They're trying to keep your clients with you because they realize that these other platforms are like that. And Damien has been very vocal about doing that. He's like, I am not like these other guys. One of the other pushbacks is like, oh, great. Now we just have like one other app that we have to sign into and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that they are going to do the right thing and that the platform is going to be like more of a singular source that we can integrate with. So, and like I say, Cotality has been giving me a lot of pushback on it. So right now, the only way to get to it outside of downloading the app is on the main dashboard. There's a widget on there where you can click into it, get in and log in there. But the internal integrations like we have, Cotality is still dragging their feet on that. But eventually there's going to be icons like on the listing input screen where you can go like to realtor.com or schedule a showings and all that stuff. But it's not there quite yet. So, you know, we're working on it. But they promised us they're going to be different than all the other guys.
Because like I'm looking at a listing now, which I know is on A4, not on CTS and MLS.
Oh, or where are you looking at it? On realtor.com?
I already downloaded the app.
Okay.
I've already logged in with CTX MLS. I just don't want to see.
Sure.
And so I typed in the address that I know is only on A-board. Where are you getting the info?
The client, you're gonna see the data that's in CTX because you're a CTX member with that login. So you're only gonna see CTX data. Your client, when you send them, so if you set yourself an email or an invitation as a client to your personal email, and then you log in with that personal email address, you'll be able to search just like the public can do right now on Realtor.com. They can search like anywhere in the nation, right, including Austin, and they will see that information out there. But then because you've added that client to you, when they see that A-board listing that you're talking about, they'll send it. But because you're not a member on that platform, you're only a member of CTX, you're only gonna see the CTX data, unfortunately. So, yeah. This is one of those weird instances where the clients are gonna see more than not. The difference is when they want to see something or they want to schedule a showing or whatever, then it's gonna connect with you direct. So, which is good.
You're in all worlds. You're saying, I made CTX and say rating sometimes Austin. So which one do they pick that?
The
primary?
when you log into Realtor.com Plus, you're gonna see the CTX data. They can see anything. They'll see it all. So just like the public does right now. Yeah.
No, Azor and Sabor are gonna be subscribing to this as well.
Eventually, yeah. I'm sure this is gonna send some shockwaves to them. As of right now, they're not on the radar. They've done Canopy MLS out of North Carolina, and another one that has a crazy acronym like CTX that I don't know where they're at, but that was another one that went. But yeah, busy. But anyway, there's going to be a lot more questions and hopefully a lot more answers and more details and stuff coming up soon. Okay. So, all right. With that, pass it back to you, Wes. Thank you.
Okay, guys, let's get to the State of the Union. Everybody's favorite part. So, did everybody see my letter last week? The value proposition is broken. Does everybody agree? Okay. So, this association is only sustained by our dues. So, if we want a better association, all we have to do is change it. That sounds pretty easy. We've been on a 3-year journey as a board trying to get this thing turned around. It's not the easiest thing to do. It takes a while. CTX MLS is not working for us. It's become a problem that we're at a competitive disadvantage to some neighbors. So I know you guys have been hearing for a few years that nobody wants to cooperate and we're just stuck and that's the way it is. Well, upon doing our own research, that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of interest in neighboring entities trying to help us come together and solve this thing. We're researching all those avenues right now. I can't get into specifics, but what I can tell you is we are actively negotiating to solve this problem, and we're going to solve it this year. So that's really what I want to tell you guys today. The next step is we're going to have to improve the value. It's not just the MLS. The MLS is a huge problem right now, but we also, while we're revamping the organization, we want to improve the other things. To us, the local advocacy and education are the two primary objectives of the association. And both of those have fallen off a little bit recently. So we are working on rebuilding all that. We're having to hire some new folks to come in. We're interviewing GA positions. We're looking at the AE position right now. But what we need from you guys is to contribute your thoughts. And I'll just start here with education. What do we need with education? When we go out and have individual conversations, one person will say, well, I want online. And the next person will say, I want in person. And I get all that. But as the leaders of this association, the stakeholders, we need to come together and put what our agents want, what our agents need to be successful. So it's kind of a come together process here. I want to open it up and just kind of do a Q&A and talk about that. And if y'all have questions about what, I hate to talk cryptically. I mean, you guys all understand fiduciary duty and confidence and all that, but just know that we're working on it on a daily basis. And we're excited about what we're going to be able to offer you guys here coming soon. I'm really stuck on the education. It's a big issue with us right now. Somebody talk to me. Tell me what you want to see in education.
Yeah, but I think, a lot of classes, post-COVID, can't believe we're still talking about COVID, but we still are. I feel like it's important to come back to live, and make, have some that are online only or live only, and not this hybrid distraction. It's just me.
I do not like hybrid.
Hybrid.
Matter of fact, everybody's mute. All you folks, appreciate y'all tuning in at home, but I muted y'all.
Here, and
Yes.
it can't be as quality there.
Well,
It's for the instructor too.
Yeah. We're on the same page there, y'all. I do not like hybrid. So thanks for that comment.
Yeah.
Right.
Have some online only.
Right.
Sometimes those are effective if everybody's online.
Yeah.
A hybrid that I think is, I don't think technology will ever catch up enough. There's not enough owls in our room.
Have you noticed a difference in attendance rates for the live classes that are being done versus the attendance rates for the ones being offered online? Because I feel like one of your problems is going to be all of these instructors offer classes directly on their platform now instead of through the boards. So how are we convincing, say for GRI, somebody to do it at our local board versus just Candy Cook's online Zoom that she does all the time? Like, what is the value incentive for coming here to do the same thing we can do at home or independently of the board altogether?
I think there's collaboration being in person. Yeah. As a former educator myself, I get way more out of being in a classroom and collaborating with other people. You're going to say more. There's less echo. There's less stuff that goes on when I'm in those Zoom classes, which I've taken, and I do get some information out of for sure, but I feel like I get way more when I'm in person. I feel like people are willing to talk and say more than if they were on a Zoom call.
And I tend to agree with that, but I'm asking what the actual data shows from like the last year of your Zoom courses versus your in-person. Are we having more that sign up and take the online, or are we having an equal amount that are showing up?
So I'm Melissa, I'm on the board. We're struggling across the board, in person and live. I'm sorry, in person and on Zoom. That's one of the reasons why Wes wanted to open this up and see what people are looking for, because people will say, I want to take XYZ, and then we offer XYZ and there's 6 or 7 people. And so, and we've talked to other instructors, and it's not just our association, it's across the board. So we're working to try to get new, interesting information. I mean, I've had my GR for 8 years, so it's like those aren't classes that I'll attend, but we like Megan had an amazing class that I took. She's had a couple of them, so those more unique ones, but not compete with title companies, because title companies have some really great ones too. So that's one of the things we're trying to work on. So if there's a specific class or a specific instructor that you want us to know about, please send it.
Is there a way to collaborate more with the title companies to have them bring that same business here instead of
that's one of the
everywhere else?
We've got on our board, one of our affiliate directors is with the title company. And so we've had that conversation with her too. So we're trying to kind of figure out ways to revamp it and work cohesively instead of separately. There's a lot of overlap for a lot of stuff. And so that's what we're trying to work on that now.
This is it.
It's not just our association.
Struggle. Give good education. And so it's just kind of spread.
Thing out to then,
So I'd like to point out, Green and Water, they did the series this year. Like, that was awesome. That's, as the board, that's our emphasis is on new, exciting things that are
unique and relevant and applicable to what we're doing in our business
every day.
So this has kind of been my bailiwick
for a while. And we did put on a water class that was 4 months in a row. And, you know, we've got 40 to 60 people coming. But then when we offer a class here at the office and or online, there's 6 people. So what that tells us is the subject matter is not relevant. With having the same classes month in and month out, that's why you're going to the title companies, is because they're bringing you relevant information. And one of the things that we're really focused on is that this board room is air conditioned and it's got the lights on every hour that we're in business. So there's no reason why we're not using this, and that title companies can't come here and have this many people in a class, and or we can't invite other subject matters other than the standard classes you all need to renew your CE. We've all taken code of ethics until we're purple, you know, and the only reason we take it is because we're required to. But what we don't offer are classes. There is a 6-hour AI class that's available, okay, that could be taught here. That is of great interest to a lot of people. So we've got to change the menu. We don't have anything on the menu that anybody wants to eat or anybody wants to order. So we've got to change the menu in order to get people back in here, because what ends up happening is we have this kind of collaboration when you're in person versus Zoom. And so that's the reason why education is a huge focus for the board this year. And we are diligently working on it. And if there is a subject matter that you want to see, we will work very hard to bring it to you, but just let us know what it is, because we are certainly open to suggestion.
Yeah, and that's a great point, is you guys tell us what you want and we'll put it in. This is for our brokers and our agents and all that. The reason we're doing all this is to better our members. So we want to hear from you guys when if you're out and you see somebody at another association or title company doing a really good class and it gives you a good idea, let us know and we'll get to work on it and put it in.
I do have a suggestion. If y'all could do like a business improv class, I think a lot of agents struggle with their ability to think on their feet. And I went to one in Austin and it was really incredible. Just like throwing out different topics, kind of like they do at a comedy improv, and you just kind of have to wing it as if you were talking to a client. I think that could be something unique that our area hasn't seen, but it would be helpful because a lot of people now don't know how to speak. And when they catch something, you know, off the cuff, they sit there like a deer in the headlights. And I think that's one of the things that hurts our industry is you can know everything, but if you can't convey it, you're not going to be able to connect with a client or meet their needs. So, I mean, just something to think about, some kind of more unique classes that are interactive and not just sitting at a desk with your booklet.
Yeah. It was here for the I know you were here. The lady that came to talk about first impressions and all that. What's her name?
Oh, yes. That was awesome. Like, that was outside the box, and I used that thing for 2 hours.
Real estate. So like those are the kind of things that. We'll put it in.
Yeah, back in the day, the Texas Realtor Leadership Program, if y'all haven't done that, it was really great.
One of the best classes that I took was generational differences, and talking about our clients depending on their generation, and that has to be done in person. And we broke out into groups of our generations. It works best with a big group of people. And then we talked about how our generations are different and how we communicate. And then it trains us as realtors who are working with all these generations. Maybe they prefer text, maybe they prefer live, maybe you need to have a cup of tea before you start talking about money. So I think there's some really great ones that I know TRLP has done, that they have to be live and they have to be in person.
Extra TRP slots. If you all have agents that you want to put TRP, Raise your hand and get the RFP. Yeah, awesome. We've got slots and it's past the deadline, but they'll hold them for us, so we've got somebody.
Have we made any progress on the geographic competency certifications or going anywhere in that direction?
We had a committee about that and we had some really, really good ideas, and that was after the capstone course that the seniors did. So we had a lot of good information about it. It kind of fizzled out, honestly, and that's something that we can discuss again at the next meeting.
I think that's super important, super important. You know, all of us have seen in our smaller towns that we represent, agents coming from the big city trying to sell a house, and we get the listing 6 months later, you know, because they didn't know what they were doing. And it's much better for the public to know that you're certified geographically competent in your area. And I think that the title companies and the lenders and our affiliates have a great bit of input to deal with this kind of stuff. And our GA committees that can educate our particular, and it not be a simple thing to do, not a 3-hour class or anything. It would be more like a TRLP. And to get that, to get that certification, and so that we didn't have Austin agents coming down there and doing their little 3-hour thing and then, you know, saying they're geographically certified. But, you know, somebody actually knowing about our neighborhoods, about the specific PIDs, about the specific water issues that we have, about the specific everything. You know, and anyway, I think that type of certification from our board would make us super valuable for our agents and be able to promote that to themselves, to the public. I'm geographically certified in your town.
Yeah. I agree.
So when we talked about that, basically what it was, trying to get information. So like Comal County, Canyon Lake is completely different from New Braunfels, which is different. You know, Seguin is different than Church Cibolo. So we talked about having kind of hyper-specific certifications. The issue with that is who's going to oversee it to verify that you've done everything. And, you know, that XYZ, because we had talked about attending city council meetings, county commissioner meetings, meeting with the school board representatives, things like that. And there was no one to oversee that. And it's not something we necessarily want to put on staff right now. And I'm on enough committees. So I think that's partly why I'm just being honest. So I think that's partly why it fell. There were some good ideas, but it is. And it's a lot of oversight.
Education.
It's why they have to fix the value proposition.
Yeah.
Because what happens here is small as the association involved, and we or they, whatever, that have worked really hard to get butts and seats, burned a lot of favors and contacts and all that just to keep this thing going. And that's the whole point. Is if we don't, there's no reason to fake this association. You know, if it's not going to be a value, what's the point in having it? So it needs to be a value, and it needs to be attracting people in, or it's not really serving a purpose. So that's where we are right now. We've got to make some changes.
It's easy if you value.
Right.
So what is the plan for the association in terms of community advocacy and legal advocacy from our board moving forward?
Well, right now we're looking to hire a VA immediately. That's a big step in the process there. We have a lot of moving parts, a lot of variables that need to fall into place before we can exactly pick, you know, how we're going to tackle that.
Well, we currently have 5 different GA committees, so join the GA committee in your county. This is the GA committees.
I would love to have participants.
Mark Gibson is the LMT who heads up all of the GA committees, so it doesn't necessarily mean that everything is at a standstill because we don't have a current GA. The GA committees are kicking it, so get involved in your county. That's the best way to figure it out.
We do need help. Mark and all the GA chairs have really stepped in. They've been covering, for Casey not being here. And then Melissa, Trina, Mark Gibson, Mark Hampton and I have kind of been covering for the AE position for this month. So we've got to get all that resolved so we can get back to our businesses and get on the job of improving the association.
And so the only thing I would like to add on to that is it's a good tie-in to the education piece, and the GA chairs, because I originally saw that was something that would be easy for the individual counties, since they on a yearly basis are bringing in people who could check off most of the things that we were kind of adding to that list of talk to a county commissioner, talk to a school superintendent, attend a XYZ meeting. Those kinds of things could pretty easily be facilitated through the GA committees because frankly, they're doing that anyways. And so just understand that the plans that we have in place, while we can't go into deep detail on that, we're not looking to continue the status quo. The status quo, in our opinion, is a failure. We are looking to build something that brings far more value than what we feel on the board. We're looking at it and looking at ourselves and saying, we don't think we've done a great job here, but we see it as an opportunity. And with the meetings that we're having, I'm far more enthused than I was a year ago. We have the opportunity to make things that will be far better than what they were. Not the status quo, but building upon what we've done and the work that we've done, a lot of yeoman's work we've done, but to make it better and a better proposition for our brokers and all of your agents.
Yeah, this is the year that we stop faking. You know, it's where you're going to be about the environmental movement. So there's really no point in stating this if we're not going to value our members, since our members are going to pay the dues and keep the lights on. GA position. So we're looking at all options right now for GA. We are of the opinion that we don't necessarily need a Texas Realtors disciple in our GA position. We need somebody that's outstanding at developing relationships, maintaining those relationships, being a face out in the community of professionalism, etc. Showing up and, you know, just being involved. And so I'll ask you guys, who do you know on your daily basis? Title reps, lender reps, that type stuff. If you've got suggestions, we're open to hear. We're looking for somebody fantastic. We're looking for somebody who can represent you guys in those areas that you were talking about, and get a handle on our advocacy.
It takes pressure off of our GA committees. Our chairs are working way too hard right now.
Yes. And we do have a GA job description. So we're happy to share that, so that you all will know what the parameters are. But it could be a dynamic position that would be, it could be a great job for someone.
Is that something that we want to post on the website?
It's a process.
Okay.
Cool. Winter meeting coming up next week. Have y'all done anything in terms of like rallying groups from our area into encouraging them to go together up there, like a strength in numbers sort of representation thing? Or is it, I haven't personally seen anything. So that's why I'm asking. There hasn't been a lot of like unity activity, like to show up like, hey, let's caravan, let's do this, let's, you know, anything like that.
No, we haven't done anything like that. It's not. I'm tired of telling people to do stuff.
I think I want the association to support the members, not the members to support the association.
Everybody go to Boston so we make a good show. Well, I mean.
No, but
I'm not
it
here
could
to
be
make a good
more
show. I'm
like
here to make members.
somebody doing a video like that's charismatic, because that's been an issue in the past too, is from what I've seen, like video marketing or any kind of marketing is very like dead. So like when I'm seeing it, I'm like, oh, that sounds super interesting, you know, whereas if you get somebody with some charisma and they're like, hey, we're gonna do a bus tour, we're gonna rent a bus, we're all gonna go together, it could be a fun time, meet your fellow agents, like sell it to people. I mean, we're selling people homes and we can't even sell our membership.
You volunteer.
You just nominated. Well, like, I think that's part of the problem that we've had over years is there's nobody that's actually selling value to our agents.
Yeah, 100%. And those work with me know that I can't sell stuff I don't believe in.
Oh,
We're not doing the job right now. Association. So it's very hard for the board to say, go sell it, because we've been on a go sell it for 5 years on the way down. And so it's time to go fix it. And then if the members want to utilize this association, they can, because it's good for them.
And I
Make
think,
sense?
yeah, sorry. I think also part of our hesitancy about it is we have all struggled. I think everyone, we've all seen the negative stuff about NAR and how frustrated people are with it. And I think some of that trickle down has gone to TR as well. And I think we're struggling to fix, not struggling, we're working to fix what we need within these walls without pushing people to do that. It's hard enough. I mean, we struggle to get people to join committees, much less to join a bus tour and go. I mean, we literally have an open president-elect.
Committee meeting. They tried to get me to do it several years ago, and it was the same stale ideas and just bullheadedness about not doing anything new. And I was like, this isn't worth my time. Like, I've got a million things to do, and if I can make change, I'll do it. But otherwise, if you're just going to sit there and try to peddle the same things that haven't worked to create interest before, like, that's not worth my time. So, well, I mean, I think that's been one of the problems is that you get agents who are enthusiastic about joining these committees, and then they show up a few times and it's like, you're not gonna do anything new. You're not gonna do anything to like change really anything or create enthusiasm. So why bother? If we're all busy in our careers, what is the incentive for us to sit in a room and chase our tails for an hour every week and not do anything?
I think they're making the case to close the board.
No, I don't want to close the board. I want the board to add unique value and actually show that value to the community instead of sending like a weekly email that doesn't drive anybody's interest or really do anything.
Well, Amber, we're looking for people just like you to step back
don't
in.
worry, I'm pretty loud.
Well,
That's fine. Yeah.
I think that everybody in this room has been in real estate for a while. And if your broker isn't doing something at the board themselves, then how much do you really know about the board? You may go to some classes and that's it. So you're still getting MLS updates. You open up your MLS, you're still seeing things, but you don't know what it is that you're seeing. You're hearing about government affairs. You're hearing about the meetings, the winter meetings, the spring meetings, and all these things, but you have no idea. They tell you, oh, here's the schedule of events, but it really doesn't tell you what they're doing at those events. When you read anything, you have no clue. I've never been to a Texas winter or spring because I have no idea what they're doing there. They're having some meetings. Great. Who wants to go sit in a meeting for a whole day? You know? I'm speaking from personal experience. I don't go because I don't know what they're doing. I'm not going to spend my time, my day up there doing God only knows what. I put myself in places where I'm going to either learn something. I joined government affairs and I'm not, anything but sit there and listen most of the time. But I learned so much from government affairs that I keep going. And every now and then I'll bring some people with me because it's a wealth of information that helps my business locally. But knows. You don't know what you don't know.
So I tried to join a committee and they connected me and she's like, oh, great, da da da. Never. Like, I'll have to email you because now I'm like, I tried emailing this lady, like, hey, when are the meetings? Like, oh, we can meet via Zoom. Nothing. And I'm like, well, if you're begging for committee members, perhaps you should communicate so that we can go. Like, I don't know when the meeting is. Like, I don't know anything.
You know someone here.
So the board connected me, and then it was whoever was in charge of that committee, like, just felt like she was like, oh, sure. And then
Like, we meet at this time on Zoom or something, and I'm like, okay, well, I need the Zoom link, like. You gotta tell me, I'm not gonna chase you down. If you want me to be a part, like, I wanna do this, but I got enough stuff to chase. I'm not gonna chase you to volunteer to be a part of a mess.
A better follow.
Yeah, I'll send you what it was, cause I'm like, I legit want to join.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to participate,
Well,
but
that's a big part of our problem, right? It's like we have the same people that are involved that you see over and over and over again. And
But if I'm pretty known, and if I fell off the radar.
It's happening to more than.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have y'all thought about having like a social media like liaison whose job it is to like, hey, today I'm out having coffee with so-and-so from so-and-so brokerage, and then just consistently posting like member stories so that people get to know members or brokers or whoever. And it's not just event based. It's like on a continuing basis. Like, I wonder who it's going to be this week that shows up on the board's Instagram for coffee talk. Whatever, like something that makes members at large, not just the brokers, feel like they're being seen. And it's not just a like, hey, pay your dues and, pay for more education, like something that gives them value and like helps people know each other. Like, oh, I like her attitude. I'd actually like to go to coffee with her or whatever, I think that would be more valuable than a lot of other expenditures. I mean, it wouldn't have to be a full-time position. It could be like, there's several social media companies here in town that do it like $350 a month. You could have 2 things that roll out per week that are high engagement and, driven to that.
Great idea, and it's something we're talking about. And when I said the GAD position, we aren't necessarily looking for a DR disciple, that's why, because we want our GAD to be our membership, what was the term we used? Retention expert.
Yeah.
Go out and see brokers, get a picture while you're there. Talk to them, but let them know that they're important. Work your way around the membership constantly. This is Realtor 101. Y'all do it. We're through it, right? And that's where we work. So that's important to us, through the GAD position and also telling another story on social media.
I think that's the big part is the story on social media has to be better because that's where everybody's finding everything now. So if you're not dynamic on that front and getting people engaged and have somebody that actually has charisma, that's been another problem is, we fronted videos and things with people that just, God love them, but they're not interesting to watch at all.
Right.
So get somebody that's for entertaining, whether it's like, hey, we're out at city council, our board is always keeping an eye on, the green improvement thing that just got approved or whatever, like letting people know what's going on from the board without a whole lot more value than somebody sitting here.
Yeah. I agree. One thing on that, Brian Johnson couldn't be here today, but he's made a point of getting us brokers and managers getting together more often, not necessarily for an official broker manager meeting, but Brian said, all brokers used to go to a happy hour once a month in New Braunfels, King and Lake, all that group. I think it would be incumbent upon us all to get together more often and talk and like, look, y'all, your board wants to do what you want us to do. I promise you that. So the more we can get together and talk, we probably neglected y'all. We've been talking to folks for a couple of months now, serious talks about solving this problem. And I know you guys have kind of just been out in the cold wondering what's going on. So I'd just like to be able to communicate with. The thing doesn't work as good when it's us talking to the agents. It works better when it's us talking to you guys and you guys talk to the agents, right? So that's what we're trying to get. Now, I just go back to I don't tell stories good unless they're true. And so I'm at this stuck point right now where I feel like almost down the rock bottom. We gotta build this thing back up. But also ask you guys to buy in and trust us and go report to your team. This isn't better. And to talk about closing the association, nobody wants to close the association, but y'all, we may not have a choice if we don't fix this thing. And so it is. Our top priority right now is restoring the value proposition so we can have our local advocacy and not swallow up in all that. our 5 counties and all that stuff. That's what's going on. I'm gonna ask you guys to trust us a little bit, but I promise you, we've got a great board right now locked in on solving these issues. So you guys stay in communication with us. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know how things are rolling out and being taken. Y'all, this is a member organization. We only survive because of the views of the members.
So our only goal is adding value to the members.
Can I say something that may be speaking out of turn? Okay, the past few years have been really hard being a realtor. Can we all agree with that? I keep a McDonald's application on my desk. Okay?
There.
And it outpays more.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't cry as much, okay? But what we say in this room, to me, is a safe space between brokers and managers. We can complain, we can talk. When we go back to our offices, we need to be very careful about the attitude we take back to our offices, the statements we take back to our offices. It needs to be sparkles and roses. It needs to be, our board is working so hard. The Association of Realtors has all of this. They're doing this, they're doing that. Look at all the education they're putting out there. Look at this. We set the tone for our brokerages. I'm a one-man shop. It gets really depressing sometimes. But we also need to realize we set the tone on how everyone around us responds to what's going on at this association and the public too. And so we need to go back to our offices and be cheerleaders to this board, regardless of what you feel about this board, Texas Realtors, NAR, whatever it is. I just ask, and I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not on the board. I'm not anything here. But I just ask that you go back with a positive attitude, because I think that's how we're going to help turn this around a little bit, is all of us working together to make it more positive.
But I say on that note, also, like, as a broker, it's super important to me when I have young agents coming in and they're like, I'm trying to get started and which board do I join? I have to be able to be honest with them about the value. So the messaging has to be coming out about the value this board brings, because otherwise, I mean, let's be real, you are competing with San Antonio that now has Lyra and is all over the place. So from a value proposition, when somebody's looking at it currently, they're like, well, I can get so much more access by using San Antonio. So the messaging has to come first. That way the brokers can back you up on it. Because right now, like, you know, one of my brand new agents, I can't realistically tell her, yes, you need both, because this one's going to give you a little bit of value and this one's going to give you all the access. So like you said before, it would be valuable to do even like a weekly brokerage training of some sort that's just for brokers, or something to get brokers bought back in and seeing the value. That way we can honestly trickle it down, because I can't honestly look some of my younger agents in the face and be like, this is the best value for your money starting out. So, yeah.
I go back to your office today, Four Rivers is not the best value for their money right now. And so that's the problem.
Yeah.
I need a few months to get, we need a few months to fix that. And so it's like, I'm literally asking you guys to trust me. Most of y'all don't know me. But if y'all can trust us, we'll get this thing where you will have that story to go back and say, here is the value.
Well, it sounds like we're getting the access through this realtor.com and whatnot. I mean, actually, in all reality, our one MLS now could very well.
Well, we don't have full
we
data.
don't- yeah, you don't have full data.
Yeah, something, but for agents, like, you can't pull comps and things like that.
Well,
It wouldn't be too dense.
It's a move in the right direction.
My point is that everyone in the room continues to stay and support Central Texas MLS, then we do have all sold data we privately need. Because we don't have to go to auction to get it, because everybody's putting it on here.
But look at how many are in the room versus how many are in members. And so we struggle, which, you know, you run the board, we struggle with getting brokers to show up. And Wes has, you know, planning this meeting today, we want everybody to have a reason to be here and to feel like this was worth your time and you're leaving with something. So yes, if you look at just the data, what's available, I know I can search it all day long. Katie Clark over there is my broker, and she has sent me emails going, hey,
And, you know, so we get it. Like, I know you can find more in Lyra than you can CTX for the same zip code, even for Seguin. So we know that, but I will argue that it's still, we still provide a hell of a lot of value because we're all sitting in this room with most of our leadership that we give a crap and we're trying to make things better. So I will say from a data standpoint, yes, Lyra has us beat right now. But from a value of us caring and wanting to make that difference, that's where our value is right now. Stick with us.
What are the actual value points? Like if I go back to my team this week and I'm like, here's the actual value points of the board. What are my value points that I'm telling them right now? Four Rivers.
So I think currently it's local advocacy. Yeah. We really shine in that department. And if you go to Sabor, they have one GA committee that everyone goes to. It's all planned by their board. We are very, I don't know, we're specific to the area. Each county has its own meeting. What we're doing in each county meeting is very specific to that one county. It is providing the people that live and work in that area the most bang for their buck. It is free. Go to it. Most of them provide you lunch and you will get a wealth of information from going to that one meeting a month. One meeting, 1 hour. And you get to speak to superintendents, county commissioners, county judges, sheriff, like absolutely anyone that knows about that county is pouring information into the agents that are attending that meeting.
Yeah.
And
5 or 6, 8.
It is not many, and it is a total waste. And guess what? The value is you being there and showing up, because guess what? There's 5 agents that now know that much more about that area than anyone else. And so we can't make people go. We have chairs that have tirelessly put in hours and hours of work getting these meetings scheduled and these phenomenal speakers to come and share their knowledge with you. We can't make people show up.
I think it's like I talked about before, it's in the message before. You can hold all the events, but if you didn't advertise the event properly before, nobody's showing up. It doesn't matter what it is. Like y'all gotta get.
See that newsletter and it just looks the same.
Yeah, it looks the same, and then a Monday email looks the same. Like get somebody on video, like, hey guys, it's your Monday's message. You know, here's what we've got going this week. This class is gonna be super cool. Like get somebody that can convey a message in a way that people can absorb in 30 seconds or less. And go, because right now it's the marketing that's the problem. Like y'all are doing things of value, but you're not marketing it to the people that would see the value.
I only come to this board, I'm a member of San Antonio and have been for years, and this is my primary year, my second year. But I only come to this board meeting, I don't even take classes from the Everett San Antonio, maybe every couple of years. I don't go anywhere else. So for me, if this were to go away, I'd have to go to San Antonio. Where am I going then? So I find value in a lot of different ways, but I'm also active in the government affairs committee for a couple of years now. Like, there's no education as to why come here. Unless your brokers bringing you here, the new people don't know. It's the new people.
I think
all been here.
I think it's a really great asset to be a member of the board where you reside in your county. Like I'm Gonzales County, and this has been my primary board, and I have not joined Sabor or ABOR because this is this board is a part of my county and where I do business. And I think that that's equally as important. Like you want to talk about being local. Well, yeah, I got roped into being the GA chair because somebody threw my name in the hat and they said she knows everyone in Gonzales. They didn't fail to mention to him that I'm related to everyone there too. So, I mean, like, I think it's really important. Like, if you have an office here in New Braunfels or Comal County, like, I think you should be supporting a local business.
and staying with inside where you have a structured and an association and a resource too. And I get the data points are really important for San Antonio and Austin because it's so much more available than what's in our MLS. And that's a side branch for another time. But like, I have always just remained like to my own morals that like being local is more important than saying that I have an MLS for Sabor. If that's something that you're trying to take back to your agents under you, I'm a one-man shop in my own brokerage. So like I don't really have to convince anybody besides my bank account of which one we're going to do. But like I think that if you're looking at it from that standpoint, you need to be saying, well, we do business here. This is the association that governs our county and blah, blah, blah. That's just where I stand on it.
These two camps, because I've always said we should have geographic competency by being members of Four Rivers. Because we get to go to these GA meetings and we get to go to these board meetings, but if we don't publicize it and advertise that we're local, we're members of Four Rivers, then the Austin people can just try, and then San Antonio people can just track all over us because as an association, we don't advertise that use a Four Rivers member because they're competent in our area.
It's your fiduciary responsibility to your client to be a member of this local board.
Amen. The board, we need to advertise what it means to be a Four Rivers agent.
I have the conversation all the time, if I might interject for a second. If I switch hats and put my Four Rivers hat back on, I have the conversation all the time. People come up to me and they're just like, we need one board for the whole area. I said, no. I said, what you mean, or explain to me, I think what you mean is that you want one MLS. He's like, well, that's what I meant. That's vastly different. One MLS, yes, and I'm probably talking myself out of a job. But one association is not going to bring you what you guys all want. It's not going to bring you the geographic competency. If you think for a second that if we had like one Texas State Association, which we do, right? If they're going to care about like the city council, right, in Gonzales or in Lockhart or anywhere, right? They're not going to give a rat's you know what. So it's us here to bring the value. But we need participation, and to convey that it's hard to do. That's where we absolutely need help.
Value, the one value that we have right now is the GA meetings. If you will go to every committee, you will make more money. That's what you can tell the agents.
But it sounds like you have wonderful ideas about how people can receive that message. And so, I mean, I'm inclined to say, bring us your ideas, help us, because obviously the board, we're missing the mark. We're the ones that are constantly showing up and trying to get that information out there. Trina and I know Megan was a part of it too. You don't know how many hours we put into that water series, that 4-part water series. It was like a full-time job. It was wonderful. But the problem is we're volunteers, we're board members, we're committee chairs on other committees too. And
they did all the main.
we did the main, me and Trina did the main. And it's, I mean, we're the ones that are constantly showing up, trying to provide value to our agents because we see it, we're living it. We don't have the post a video, do this. We don't see it that way. We do nice flyers, we're posting stuff that way. So if you have the mind that you need to have this dynamic video, then please help us get the word out, because we cannot wear every single hat we need to get the word out to everyone.
Well, and you're running a business too, your own business.
Yes.
Right.
So like I am spread way too thin, and I was the chair of the Caldwell County GA committee for 3-4 years, and I can't. I cannot. I am on the. I can't take any more on.
Yeah, I get it, but like each committee could have one person who's like, hey, do a 1.5-minute video. I mean, like the thing is, like now with TikTok and Instagram and everything else, it doesn't have to be perfect, and it'll get better response if it's not overly produced. Like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and we just wrapped up another GA meeting. I wanted to give you a quick recap of what happened. You know, get involved, here's our next event. Like,
get it,
it
but-
doesn't have to be perfect.
But not everyone is going to do that, and so if
Well,
that
not,
is.
not everyone, but like on a committee, if you've got 6 committee members, one person can be the social media like outreach. I mean, and it would be important to make sure that each of your committees has somebody that feels competent at that.
I mean, I'm definitely like gonna put down that maybe we add a social media thing. The problem is when you have one person that's chairing a committee, that's also taking the minutes, that's also scheduling everything, like they're tapped out. And then you tell another volunteer, hey, can you post this to social media? Give me a minute and a half. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I wish it was just that easy, because then we would have that. We would have it for every committee meeting we have. But the people that are working hard and they're spread thin and they can't take one more thing on. And so, and then you ask someone else to do it and now they don't wanna come anymore. So we don't wanna scare away.
Right, but my bigger
Actually, you had a
point, and I totally get what you're saying, and I respect all the amount of time that you're spending. But at a certain point, if you're not marketing it, you're wasting your time because it's not getting out to the people it needs to get out to.
Right.
So the minute would have 2 minutes, and if they would hire like a liaison for social media, and they just,
So
they
you're
did
saying
their
like
job.
another staff position?
Well,
of
we
the
would hire
association?
somebody that is capable of doing that as well. Because right now, having people that are only good at one thing, if you're not on social media, you're not anywhere now. So, I mean, I feel like that's a huge flaw in the way the board has communicated value and gotten, engagement and everything else, and.
With the news coming out soon, I 100% agree, we're gonna have to get revamped the way we tell the story.
I think Wes, we had a comment over here as well.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
sorry. Do you also need a password?
I don't know what.
Back, and back in the day, we used to have the vice president council where we put some of us admins to work to help out, to make people actively on these committees, because we served our time. That past for kind of. It was we had them talk to the membership and in social media, right? We could have some of us come back and maybe help them and say, hey, I've been a member since I serve my time with the value that I got and if you guys think on it, and I know I was first started Esther Warnett came back to me and said, you should be on this new scholarship committee that's forming. And I was giving them, I don't bring any value. It's really new, I don't know much. Oh, kid. So I don't know if maybe we can bring some of that back. Because those of that already chairing the committee are already funds. So.
Yeah, you're actually doing a lot of these things. Why can't that task be on somebody in the office actually sitting here?
Well, we're at capacity in the moment. Like, not the board is working, right? For.
That like, if you have
members, we're all paying. I don't see the financials of it, but if you have somebody that is able to take on that, not necessarily specifically that task, but obviously some things need to be readjusted. And that might be something to implement.
Appreciate it. We're working in that direction.
Even if you find somebody like the invited agents, one per week for like a coffee talk video, and it was somebody that already works here. Say Mike interviews somebody this week, or one of the other staff members that's already here could do it. I mean, it's not that hard, and it doesn't have to be overthought and over perfected. It just has to get done. And that's the problem, is it's not getting done.
True.
Agreed. Yes, ma'am.
Well,
as a former head of a committee who committed until she quit because I was sick of doing everything tirelessly, I understand. First of all. Second of all, I had a very scary comment to me in this parking lot when I pulled in. An appraiser said, Fort River still exists. I was like, wow. That as an appraiser, you want to talk about competency? Like I immediately called that listing agent and said, heads up. I don't know where this is going. But as an organization, we should all be highly concerned that an appraiser was surprised we're still in business.
Kevin? Is it Kevin? Something? Oh,
No, it's Joe.
what about online, Mike? You wanna? How we doing on time?
If anybody wants to come to the board meeting, you're welcome to come and talk to us then. We'd love to have you there if you come up with anything else. We are exploring all options. Sorry?
When do you meet?
We need stuff. Third Wednesday. Yeah, third Wednesday.
Somebody, Natalie has posted, I'm taking 3 agents with me, you learn at winter meetings. So is she saying that we would learn those things at winter meeting?
I think what she's saying, the winter meeting is just full of classes, all day, every day, and so it's just a buffet of go learn stuff.
I think she was responding to a comment about what do you get from.
What do you get?
Okay, got it.
So-
And she does, I have to do the videos.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So talking about winter meeting real quick, you want to talk about what's learned over there? As the chair of the MLS and Technology Committee, I can tell you for our committee, which is on the 9th at 3 p.m., we've got 2 hours set up. So I've got a panel set up with Ben Caballero. You guys know who Ben Caballero is? #1 largest, yeah. He designed a program from homesusa.com. So he takes developers' listings and puts them on all the MLSs across the country, especially in Texas. I've got Justin Landon from Metrotex. So because he's implemented a lot of new tools up in Metrotex, something to learn about, maybe some stuff that we can implement. And then I've got Gilbert Gonzalez from Lyra, who's going to be talking. So I'll be interviewing them for that meeting. And then, so that's the first hour. The second hour of that meeting is going to be a mixture. I was trying to get sponsors to have an alcohol sponsor there, but that kind of got sidelined, unfortunately. But we're going to have a colleague to colleagues mixer, and there's a couple of vendors there, along with Ben, Gilbert, and Justin and myself and stuff like that can talk to everybody in the room and engage and just share ideas, kind of like what you all are doing here. That's on the 9th. That's February 9th. Yeah, 3 o'clock. It's 3 to 5. Yeah. No, that's at Texas Realtors in Austin. That's at the state conference up in Austin. Yeah.
Tickets was last week though, so if you don't already have a ticket, I do think that they have some of their meetings that are gonna be available on Zoom, but I'm not sure which ones.
I don't think there's a charge for the Texas Realtor meeting. They might have.
The deadline to register to go is already.
I've done it on spot though too, a hotel or something up there, but I mean, I'll be driving up there anyway, so. But yeah, but look into that if you can.
Y'all, I mean, I hope within a couple of weeks, maybe a month, we'll have more info for y'all, but I promise you, by the time y'all come back for the second quarter meeting, we'll be having a different conversation. So y'all hang in there. Appreciate y'all's trust. I appreciate y'all coming today. As y'all are going to. We are working hard and we're not going to stop, and we will win this. So you guys hang tight and we'll deliver a better product.
Thank you. Thank you.